If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns have once again found themselves at the center of a heated football debate, and this time it's not about play calling, defensive lapses, or late-game collapses. No, this time, it's about how the team is handling one of its most talked-about rookies, quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Ever since the Browns drafted Sanders in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, there's been an electric buzz surrounding his name, largely thanks to his famous lineage and impressive college career under his father, Deion Sanders. Fans expected at least a glimpse of him taking snaps with the first team, maybe just a few reps to see how he meshes with the offense. But the Browns coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, has made it clear Sanders won't be getting any first-team reps for now. All of those belong to Dillon Gabriel, the team's 3rd-round pick and the quarterback currently sitting ahead of Sanders on the depth chart. From a purely strategic standpoint, Stefanski's decision makes a certain kind of sense. The Browns, like many teams juggling multiple rookie quarterbacks, are trying to avoid the chaos that can come from dividing valuable practice time. Gabriel, being the higher draft pick and the guy they've clearly pegged as their top developmental priority, is getting every possible opportunity to grow into the role. The team's logic is straightforward. Focus your resources on one rookie, give him all the first-team exposure, and hope he evolves into the long-term answer at quarterback. If not, you move to the next man up. That's the plan, that's the philosophy. But not everyone is buying into it, and some analysts are absolutely letting the team have it. One of the loudest voices in the room has been Tony Rizzo, the fiery Cleveland sports personality who never shies away from calling out what he sees as mismanagement. Rizzo recently unleashed a blistering rant about the Browns' handling of Sanders, questioning whether the team is even serious about developing the young quarterback. His words were cutting, passionate, and laced with the frustration that so many Cleveland fans have felt over the years when it comes to their team's never-ending quarterback carousel. "Let's just see how bad it could be," Rizzo said. "Are they that afraid that Sanders is going to take 7 sacks? Who is coaching this kid for 10 weeks? Is he getting coached? Is he getting developed? Apparently not. They're not even giving him first-team reps. It's a joke. It's your job to develop these kids. I don't give a **** where he was drafted. I'm trying to be fair here. I'm trying to understand. If you don't think he can play behind this line, what does he do in practice every day?" It was a classic Rizzo tirade, raw, emotional, and rooted in a genuine love for Cleveland football. And honestly, he has a point that's hard to ignore. Sanders, despite being a 5th-rounder, isn't just some random late-round flyer. He's a player who was projected by many to go much higher, a quarterback who displayed remarkable poise, vision, and leadership during his college days. His footwork, accuracy, and ability to extend plays under pressure made him one of the most intriguing prospects in his class. So, the fact that he's not even getting a sniff of first-team action feels like a missed opportunity to some, especially in a league where development often comes through experience, not just observation. Still, the Browns have made their intentions crystal clear. Gabriel is their guy for now, and the team believes the best path forward is to throw all their energy into his growth. It's not that they've given up on Sanders, far from it, but they're simply choosing a more traditional, step-by-step approach. Gabriel, taken in the 3rd round, was viewed by the front office as a more pro-ready passer with a higher immediate ceiling. His ability to read defenses and make quick decisions aligns with the structured, timing-based offense Stefanski loves to run. In contrast, Sanders, for all his talent, was seen as more of a long-term project, a quarterback who might need time to adjust to the speed, complexity, and physicality of the NFL game. And yet, the optics of this decision are tough to swallow. Fans see Sanders on the sidelines, helmet in hand, watching every first-team snap go to Gabriel, and they can't help but wonder, what's the harm in letting him take a few reps? What's the downside in giving the kid a taste of the real thing? After all, development isn't just about learning the playbook. It's about building chemistry, timing, and confidence with the starting unit. Without that experience, how can the team truly evaluate what they have in him? It's the classic catch-22 of quarterback development. Protect the rookie from too much too soon, or risk stunting his growth by keeping him in bubble wrap. To understand the Browns' mindset, though, you have to look at their history, and it's not exactly pretty. Cleveland has been through an exhausting cycle of quarterback experiments for decades, constantly flipping between veterans, prospects, and emergency backups. From Brady Quinn to Johnny Manziel, from Deshaun Kaiser to Baker Mayfield, the Browns have seen it all. Each time, it's been the same story: promise, pressure, disappointment, repeat. So maybe Stefanski is trying to learn from that history, trying not to rush another young quarterback into a situation where he's bound to fail. Maybe he truly believes that keeping Sanders in the shadows, letting him develop quietly behind the scenes, is the best way to ensure he's ready when his moment finally arrives. But then again, this is Cleveland, a city where patience runs thin and football emotions run deep. Fans aren't just spectators here, they live and breathe this team. And when they see a player like Shedeur Sanders, with his pedigree, confidence, and charisma, being kept on the bench, they get restless. They want to see the spark, the future, the possibility of something new. It's not that they're rooting against Gabriel, but there's something magnetic about Sanders that draws attention and curiosity. He's got that it factor, the same kind of presence that makes you believe he could change the narrative if given the chance. Meanwhile, the media frenzy continues to grow. Every week, every press conference, someone brings up Sanders' name, and Stefanski has to repeat the same line, that the plan hasn't changed, that Gabriel is still the focus, that Sanders' time will come. But when exactly will that be? What happens if Gabriel struggles? What happens if the Browns' offense sputters or the losses start piling up? At some point, pressure mounts, and calls for change become impossible to ignore. It's a familiar script in Cleveland, one that's been replayed too many times to count. For Sanders himself, this has to be a test of patience and professionalism. He's always been known for his composure and maturity, qualities he likely inherited from his father, who knows better than anyone how to navigate the spotlight. But even for the most disciplined athlete, sitting on the sidelines can be a tough pill to swallow. Every competitor wants to play, wants to prove themselves, especially when they know they have the talent to make a difference. Sanders has shown glimpses in practice and preseason, enough to make teammates and coaches take notice. But glimpses don't earn starting jobs in the NFL. Consistency does, and that takes time, reps, and trust from the coaching staff. It's worth remembering, too, that the Browns aren't in crisis mode yet. There's still plenty of football left in the season, and situations in the NFL can change faster than a Sunday blitz. Injuries, performance slumps, or even a change in offensive strategy can suddenly open the door for a player like Sanders. The key is for him to stay ready, stay focused, and be prepared to seize the moment when it finally comes. Because when it does, and it will, the expectations will be sky high. Cleveland fans don't just want a quarterback. They want a savior, someone who can finally bring stability to a position that's been cursed for far too long. And maybe, just maybe, Sanders could be that guy. Maybe the story of the fifth-round pick who waited his turn and eventually rose to the challenge will be the next great chapter in Browns history. But for now, all we have are questions, debates, and a whole lot of passionate opinions. Tony Rizzo may be right to call out the team's cautious approach, but there's also a valid argument for patience and structure. In the unpredictable world of the NFL, there's no single blueprint for developing a quarterback, only hindsight and results. Until then, the Cleveland Browns will keep doing what they believe is right, even if it doesn't please everyone. The coaches will stick to their plan, the analysts will keep arguing, and the fans will keep waiting for the next glimpse of hope under center. Because that's what Cleveland does. It waits, it hopes, and it never stops believing that the next quarterback, the next play, the next season, might finally be the one that changes everything. Whether that future belongs to Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure, the debate isn't dying down anytime soon. And in Cleveland, that kind of passion, that kind of fire, is just part of the game. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The NFL world has just been hit by an absolute earthquake. Out of nowhere, the Cleveland Browns have pulled off not one, but two monster moves that could completely rewrite the storyline of the entire season. It's official, or as official as it gets in this crazy league. The Browns have reportedly sealed deals bringing in Terry McLaurin and Jordan Love. Yeah, you heard that right. The same Terry McLaurin who's been the heartbeat of Washington's offense for years, and Jordan Love, The young quarterback who took the reins in Green Bay and proved he's got the stuff to lead a franchise. This isn't just another off-season rumor. This feels like a seismic shift, like Cleveland finally throwing all its chips into the middle of the table and saying, "We're done waiting. It's time to win right now." The story began brewing late last night, when whispers started to circulate around league insiders that the Browns front office had been working behind closed doors on something big, something that had been weeks in the making. Most people brushed it off as the usual rumor mill nonsense that pops up every time a team struggles offensively. But then, boom. Early this morning, reports broke that negotiations had accelerated, phone calls were made deep into the night, and by sunrise, both deals were done. 2 signatures, 2 franchise-changing additions, and suddenly, the Browns have gone from maybe next year to watch out, we're coming. Now let's break down what this actually means, because the impact here goes way beyond just a flashy headline. Jordan Love, the former Packers quarterback who stepped into one of the toughest shoes in the NFL after Aaron Rodgers left, showed everyone last season that he's more than capable of being the guy. He's got poise, arm strength, mobility, and that calm confidence that makes a locker room rally behind him. For Cleveland, that's huge. After all the ups and downs with Deshaun Watson, after all the uncertainty and inconsistency, bringing in Love might finally give them the stability they've been missing at quarterback for years. It's not just about talent. It's about leadership, it's about energy, and it's about resetting the identity of this team around a new, hungry core. And then there's Terry McLaurin, one of the most respected and quietly elite wide receivers in the entire league. Every year, no matter who's throwing him the football in Washington, he's been producing. Route running, hands, intelligence, and work ethic. McLaurin is the complete package. Pairing him up with Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore instantly gives Cleveland one of the scariest wide receiver trios in the AFC. Think about it. You've got a young quarterback who loves to sling it deep, and now you're surrounding him with playmakers who can stretch the field and turn every catch into a highlight. That's not just a good move. That's a statement. People close to the Browns organization say this is part of a bigger, more aggressive strategy that's been building behind the scenes for months. General Manager Andrew Berry, known for his calculated moves and long-term planning, apparently decided that the time for patience was over. The AFC North is stacked, with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, and the Steelers always lurking with their defense, and Cleveland couldn't afford to stand still. They needed to do something bold, something that would instantly elevate them from playoff hopefuls to legitimate contenders. And boy, did they deliver. You can already feel the shift in the air. Social media exploded the moment the news hit. Fans freaking out, rivals taking shots, analysts scrambling to update their predictions. Within minutes, #Dawg Pound Dream Team started trending, and Cleveland's own players started dropping cryptic emojis on Twitter. The little eyes, the fire, the locked padlocks. Everyone knows what's happening. The energy in that locker room just changed overnight. For a franchise that spent decades searching for that elusive balance between talent and chemistry, this could be the moment that turns everything around. But let's be real for a second. This isn't just about hype. It's about expectations, and they just skyrocketed. The Browns aren't sneaking up on anyone anymore. With McLaurin and Love in the mix, the bar is set high. Fans will expect wins, playoff runs, and a brand of football that finally matches the talent on the roster. And that's where it gets really interesting, because for all the excitement, there are still questions. How fast can Jordan Love learn the Browns system? How will he mesh with Kevin Stefanski's offensive philosophy, which relies heavily on timing, precision, and balance between the run and pass? How will McLaurin adapt to a new environment, new teammates, and a fan base that's absolutely starving for success? Those answers will define whether this blockbuster becomes a fairy tale or another, what could have been chapter in Cleveland's long history of near misses. Insiders say the first conversations between Love and Stefanski were electric. Genuine football talk, ideas flying, mutual respect right from the start. Love reportedly said he's ready to bring something special to this city, and that alone sent fans into a frenzy. You could feel the hope in those words, the same kind of belief that Baker Mayfield once sparked when he first burst onto the scene. But this time it feels different, more mature, more grounded. This isn't about saving the Browns, it's about completing them. As for McLaurin, the word is he's been eyeing a change for a while now. Washington's offensive struggles and constant coaching turnover had worn him down, and Cleveland's offer came at the perfect time, a chance to join a team that's building something serious. Imagine that first game at First Energy Stadium, McLaurin lining up wide, the crowd roaring, Jordan Love in the pocket, the ball soaring through the air. You can already see it. The Dawg Pound going crazy, chants echoing through the cold Cleveland air. That's not just football, that's a rebirth. Of course, with every massive move like this, there are always skeptics. Some analysts are already questioning whether the Browns gave up too much draft capital to land both stars. Others wonder if this is another win-now gamble that could backfire if chemistry doesn't click immediately. But for once, the Browns aren't shying away from the noise. They're embracing it. The front office knew the risks, and they took them anyway because they finally believe the roster is ready to compete with the big boys. And honestly, when was the last time Cleveland fans got to say that with a straight face? If you've followed this team for any length of time, you know how much pain, how much frustration, and how many false dawns they've endured. But this feels different. It's not about promises or hype videos or preseason talk. It's about substance. Jordan Love has proven he can lead. Terry McLaurin has proven he can deliver no matter the circumstances. Now, they're both wearing brown and orange, ready to rewrite the story together. And maybe that's the most beautiful part of it. The Browns aren't just chasing wins anymore. They're chasing identity. For decades, they've been the team of almosts, of heartbreaks, of what-ifs. But when you bring in players like McLaurin and Love, professionals, leaders, competitors, you're not just changing your roster, you're changing your culture. You're telling the league, we're not the same old Browns. So here we are, Cleveland, once again at the center of the football universe. The city that's known heartbreak is daring to dream again. The Dawg Pound is alive, the locker room is buzzing, and the NFL just got a little more interesting. Whether this gamble turns into glory or disappointment, one thing's for sure. The Browns have officially entered a new era. The Jordan Love era, the Terry McLaurin era, and maybe, just maybe, the era where the Browns finally become what their fans have always believed they could be, a team that doesn't just fight, but wins. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!